We're here today to announce that we have had a group of leaders of the community who have gotten together to discuss how we can enhance security for downtown. Amazingly, in downtown, we have had decades of revitalization and rebirth. It has taken all of us, the city, the county, the state, on the federal level, and of course our business community have come together to invest in downtown, and we have seen amazing revitalization. Downtown has become a place where we all come together. We have seen with baseball, Schuster Center, the Levitt Center, a revitalization, housing. This is a place where people come to work, play, and enjoy downtown. We want to make certain that that investment continues, and we know that it can be at risk if we don't have a place where people feel secure. So locally, we are responding. We had a group of community leaders who came together, and we wanted to make certain that we looked at the root causes of ways in which we can impact the areas of security in the community. And we wanted a plan for next summer. We wanted to make certain that, first off, that we had a concern that was shared, that the investment is at risk. We wanted to make certain that people feel safe, and that we wanted a coordinated approach. So we believe that we needed to have increased social services for downtown, increased police presence, and increased enforcement. Our group included myself, representatives from the state. We had Tom Young, Andrea White. We also had representatives from the business community, Erhard Pretnauer from CareSource, Chris Riegel from Stratacash, Jason Woodard from Woodard Development, Willis Blackshear, state senator, who's with us today, Phil Plummer, who is with us today. We had Desiree Timms, state representative, Eric Spina from the University of Dayton, Mary McDonald, county commissioner. Someone could please lean against that, thank you. Right now, someone leans against the wall in front of you. Bob Streck, the sheriff, Mayor Mims, Chris Shaw, county commissioner, who's with us, and the commissioner-elect Darius Beckham, who's also participated with us. This group came together and came up with recommendations that we have submitted to the county commission and to the city commission, asking for them to review our recommendations as to how we think we can accomplish increased social services, increased police presence, and increased enforcement to make downtown safer. The city has already taken the lead in this effort, and they have scheduled our recommendations for tasking the staff of the city to review them and make recommendations for implementation. For this week's first reading, City Commission's calendar for Wednesday, we want to thank the mayor and also the city manager and the city commissioners for placing that on their calendar. We also want to thank the incoming mayor, Turner Schloss, who has supported these recommendations and supports it being on the calendar. We think these recommendations will be supported also by the county commission, and we look forward to getting the recommendations from them as our group works in partnership with this group. Now, our recommendations were broken up into a social services working group, a business community working group, an intergovernmental working group, and a justice policing group. We also think that our court systems needs to be engaged. People were very concerned about what enforcement occurs once the police are involved in actions in downtown. This is going to take a coordinated approach from everyone to ensure that downtown remains safe, the investment that we've made remains safe, that downtown remains our focus of a place for our community to gather and enjoy. And with that, it's my honor to introduce our Senator Willis Blackshear. All right.
Okay, well, good morning. Just want to first start off by thanking Congressman Turner for bringing this group together of different stakeholders who are invested in the growth and sustainability of our downtown. Let me just be clear, we are committed to the safety throughout all of Montgomery County, but as it pertains to downtown, the growth that we have seen downtown is at a tipping point. The goal is simple: more people downtown, more often, and making sure that they are supported and safe. We recognize that when people come downtown, they support local businesses. They eat at local restaurants, as well as go to other surrounding areas. These places employ our neighbors, our friends, and our family members who essentially pour money back into our community. So with that being said, we want to encourage more investment so we can see more people downtown. And we want them to feel safe and confident with that. Downtown Dayton is blessed. We already have 5 new hotels, the arcade is open, our arts are thriving, and we also have some of the biggest employers in our state that call downtown Dayton home. The state of Ohio has a critical role to play in the partnership with the private sector to ensure continued growth and safety. And to protect and build on this progress, we are committed to strengthening 3 key areas, which the Congressman has already mentioned: social services, police presence, as well as enforcement. I wanted to make sure that everybody is safe. All eyes are on the city of Dayton, and I believe that we have a real opportunity to be a national model, to show how a city can preserve its downtown's character and integrity, while also promoting long-term growth and economic prosperity. We're called the Gem City for a reason. And I, for one, am committed to that strategic government investment in our downtown because there are so many people that are depending on it. I'm gonna say that one more time. There are so many people that are depending on our downtown to thrive, and we are all committed to making sure that that continues to happen. So with that, I'll pass it over to Representative Andrew White.
Well, I'm excited to be here talking about downtown because downtown is a place that I've been coming for decades. I was a college student, I worked downtown, I have shopped downtown, I have eaten downtown, I've recreated downtown with all the arts and with the different bike paths and all of the different things there are to do. And it's been truly momentous to see how downtown has transformed itself over the years. We've seen us go through different cycles over the years. We have investment, we have companies leave, we have holes to fill. But yet, Congressman Turner, you've been around a long time too, and I thank you for your leadership because you've seen the ebbs and flows, and you've seen our downtown. And so as we look to the future and we think about what we want to see and what we want to keep seeing, we want to see restaurants thriving. We want people to feel comfortable. Perception and reality are not the same things. And so we want to make sure the reality that everybody experiences as they come downtown is a reality based on feeling confident, that people who need human services are getting cared for and in the places that they need to be, and that all the businesses who have so faithfully invested in our downtown, and are building investment in our downtown, feel supported by the state, which my colleagues, Tom Young and Phil Plummer and the representatives are here today, as well as Senator Blackshear. We're committed to supporting our downtown. We're committed to supporting Dayton and Montgomery County because a vibrant downtown helps for a vibrant region and helps attract. When companies are recruiting, they want to know there's arts. They want to know there's a sports stadium. They want to know there's things to do. And it's our job to make sure everybody who lives and works and plays downtown is thriving and feels safe. So thank you so much for your leadership, for everybody that's been involved to bring this together, because we have a lot of work to do, but we have a lot of great things that are happening and that will happen.
West, Jason Woodward. Of course, he's invested tremendously in downtown. We appreciate what he's done in the transformation for residential housing in downtown.
I also want to echo thank you to Congressman Turner for pulling the group together and the entire committee that put a lot of time and effort into coming up with these recommendations. Downtown is at a tipping point. The good news is that can go in a very positive direction. I think it's imperative that we're proactive from this point forward to shape the outcomes we want for our residents and businesses that call Dayton home. My company and our partners alongside the city, county, state, and numerous other developers have made significant investments, and we want to see that continue to drive growth and prosperity throughout our community. We've made a lot of progress. The Water Street District, East 3rd Street, Fire Blocks, Oregon East, the Arcade, they've all had tremendous impacts in the city, defying what many said couldn't be done. The foundation is in place to propel our great city. My partners at Crawford Hoying were the driving force behind bringing Marriott to to downtown, leading with the opening of the Fairfield Inn, the first hotel in over 20 years in downtown Dayton. Quickly followed that with the AC, and now there's several other hotels open and more on the way. The arts, we're blessed to have a tremendous arts community for a city of our size, really for any city. Our arts culture is amazing. Anchored by Dayton Live, Gabriel and his team have done a phenomenal job and continue to just outclass other peer cities. As Senator Blackshear touched, we can be a model for the entire country. Like many other cities, we've struggled to regain the energy in downtown post-COVID, but we don't have to accept that as our fate. COVID is behind us. We now have an opportunity to re-energize our city and be a change leader that other communities want to replicate. How do we do that? It's already been touched on. Increase social services, connecting those in need with the right support. Increased police presence. The city's taking the lead by adding a substation in downtown. And then enforcement, just holding people accountable for their actions. Ultimately, what we need is to continue to drive more people downtown to work, play, live, and we can change the negative perceptions that are out there and continue Dayton's momentum of investment and vibrancy that we all deserve. Thank you.
Anyone else to speak?
Well, Stephanie, thank you. Of course, we all understand that the core of any city is downtown. You've heard all the positive comments about how much it has been able to drive the recommendations, the investments in downtown Dayton. Dayton is no different than any place else. I think we are ready that model. I think we keep moving in this direction. One of the reasons that we're working on these recommendations is to make it better, or to accelerate the great things that have been happening as far as this city of Dayton is concerned. We've seen when we look at data that the negative crime data stats have continuously gone in the right direction, which is down, making Dayton again the best place for someone to live, work, play, be educated, raise a family, and grow old, in that order. Okay, we keep on moving in this direction because of the great leadership that we have from the federal government, the state government, as well as local government as well. It can't happen if those partners and those pieces are not working together in those spaces. And again, looking at the recommendations that we have, also looking at other things that we may not have put down on paper, but finding the best ways to improve the quality of life that we have in the city of Dayton. So again, I really want to thank all the partners who have come together. There are probably some things, maybe some laws from a decade or so ago that will probably help us in this whole process. Again, so thank all of you for being here because you've been a good part of this. I also want to say to the media, part of the challenge that we have is making sure we get the message out. When we have data that shows that good things are happening here in downtown Dayton, we have to depend on not just the word of mouth from those citizens who are here taking advantage of some of those experiences, but we need to make sure that, I know you guys have this theory, when it leads, but take another approach to making sure that the good information about Dayton and Dayton City and the benefits that benefit everyone in this whole region come downtown to make sure that's clear. All right, thank you so much.
Questions?
Can you concretely say what these increased social services are or enforcement is? Police presence seems pretty self-explanatory, but the other two, what does that concretely mean?
Right, so one of the issues for downtown, obviously, is the homelessness presence. And we want to ensure that those who are in the downtown area that are homeless, that they're receiving social services. We call in these recommendations also for a census. Where are the individuals coming from? What social services do they need? And where are they located in downtown? We currently are operating without data, and so we want to make certain that we have the data and information so that we can apply those social services.
And then in terms of, there's a lot of growth happening in Dayton, yes, especially the downtown core. How do we keep that growth going while also making sure it's affordable for people to either live there, to play there, to eat there, because costs everywhere are still going up?
Right, well, there's a tremendous amount of affordable housing that is in downtown and that is continuing to be developed in downtown, including City Center itself, which is affordable housing. And we're going to continue to, certainly on the federal level, on the state level, on the city level, ensure that the components of housing that are developed in downtown is a mix.
Representative Turner, in terms of the business community, and maybe someone from the business community would like to answer this question, what have been the problems that predicated even forming this group and looking at these challenges and then trying to come up with some solutions? What have been the real
I'll
problems?
give you an opening to the question, because we've had this discussion collectively, and then Jason can answer really was an issue of coordination. When we all sat down and began having this discussion, we found that everybody's working on the problem, but there hasn't been a whole lot of coordination. And so what our effort has been is how do we bring more of each of these things, but also how do we coordinate them so everybody's working together? And that pretty much was our discussion. And that's what we're looking for from the county and the city, is how do we bring more, but also how do we work for it together? Jason, just want to respond to that?
From my perspective, I think, coming from the committee, you're battling a couple of different things. There are certainly incidents of violence that make headlines, and we've had some of those occur downtown. But I would say the tougher challenge is that we're oftentimes battling in perception rather than what the daily reality is. But for human beings, perception is reality, and so we have to address those perceptions. And quite frankly, I mentioned it. Pre-COVID, we had a very full office population. We had a lot of people on the streets. From 8 to 5, we increased the living, so we had people extending those hours. Obviously, we had more restaurants. And so it's kind of a self-fulfilling upward spiral of activity. And then post-COVID, we've seen a decline in the number of people that are in the office on a daily basis. And so that reduces the number of people on the street. And so some of the things that were there become more prevalent, and again, increasing the perception that there are issues that we need to address. And I think, again, not turning a blind eye that we have had real issues, but I think, to some degree, it's very difficult to change a perception, quickly. It has to be consistent activity, and I think, again, the more people that we get downtown, the more you realize it's safe, and it is an upward spiral.
Is it that there are fewer people downtown simply because they're just not working downtown, they're working remote, they're telecommuting, so it's not that downtown Dayton is unsafe, it's just their lifestyle and routines change, as you said, post-COVID?
Yeah, I think work from home, our region has been one of the slower areas to return to the office en masse. And so again, I think just, no matter where you are, when there aren't a lot of people around, it creates a different feeling, right? And so, I think as we move further and further away from that, and we can start to change, reduce that work from home and get people back in the office, fingers crossed. I think we're going to see a lot of positive benefits from that.
Has there been an uptick in crime downtown since post-COVID?
I don't know that I'm the person to speak to that, but I will say I think there, from my perception, because there's less daily interactions, it may seem as though there's more. I think there's actually less. We're statistically, I believe, at pre-COVID levels, and so that's a positive sign. But again, I think one incident's too many, right? But that's a factor we deal with everywhere and throughout the entire community.
And I
Not
just
just
want
downtown.
And how long has this group existed? When did this group begin in terms of this coordinated effort?
Just after August just at the end of last summer.
Congressman, I know the city and the county has a certain amount of money to work with when it comes to implementing some of these things. So do you foresee more money needing to come from the state and maybe even federal level to help implement some of these services?
Well, I think this is, again, back to coordination, because St. Clair has a police force, Dayton has a police force, the city has a police force, the county has a sheriff department. As we look, most of the buildings in downtown have security teams. Really, it's how do we get all of the resources that are already here working together, then how do we look for more security within the area and resources that we can bring to the area. So I think that multiplier, once we bring it together, coordinate it, make it work better, increased visibility, it's going to have a huge impact.
And also, is there a message to people who live in other neighborhoods that say downtown is so much the focus that they're not getting focused in their neighborhoods, that a lot of these shootings and instances may happen in?
Actually, whenever in any portion of downtown is impacted, all neighborhoods are impacted. Obviously, having been mayor and having a mayor standing next to me and a new mayor coming in, one thing that people know is when a portion of the city is safe, the rest of the city is safe too. All of Dayton becomes safe, and then the region becomes safe.
Is there a price tag to these efforts, to increasing services and things of that sort?
What we see right now is with these recommendations, the city and the county are then assigning this to their staff for recommendations as to how they can be implemented, and that process is going to begin now. So stay tuned.
How soon could city commission or county commissions start implementing this? Is this something like
The
next
city
year budget?
has this on their calendar for the first reading this Wednesday. All right, thank you so much.